All right, guys. So today we're going to be reacting to a woman this time. And this woman, her name is Gia, and she pretty much follows every principle of attraction that every man has to follow. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. What she does is applicable to everyone. So, and this woman pretty much, she's pretty good looking, right? But she's not like overly like, you wouldn't see her and say, okay, I want her like over every woman. But on the show, you'll notice that if you watch the show, she is really irresistible, and she's pretty much applying the strategies that I teach, right? That I teach you guys. So we're gonna watch this video, and I want you guys to develop some of this feminine charm that is actually women find irresistibly attractive in a man. All right. So let me know what you guys think of this. And by the way, we're doing a London seminar. We're doing a London seminar next this summer. So I'm gonna let you guys know when you guys can buy the ticket. It's gonna be about nonverbal communication, and also we're releasing a course called Emotional Mastery. It's a 7-week course on how to master your emotion. So you guys can purchase it in the description down below, and you guys can could purchase the tickets to the London seminar by tomorrow, I think. But I gotta post it first. All right. Let's begin this.
Where she had the majority of the men completely taken by her and pursuing her until the very end of the show. She has since become known for her extremely magnetic feminine allure and her ruthlessness with the guy. Gia was a contestant on Netflix's Korean dating show Singles Inferno, where she had the majority of the men completely taken by her.
I mean, if she was walking in slow motion, I'll pay attention as well. I mean,
pursuing her until the very end of the show. She has since become well known for her extremely magnetic feminine allure and her ruthlessness with the guys. I have another video deciphering her behavior and why it's so mesmerizing. But in this video, we are going to get into what type of mindset that creates this type of
actually, she's really pretty, actually.
With mindset is so important because no matter how hard we try, we will always act out our true beliefs in the.
I always believe that the self is always coming through. The self is always coming through. And that self is a conglomeration of a lot of emotions that you call you and that people interpret as your personality. Your personality is just a conglomeration of emotions and reactions, right? If you learn to control that, you will be able to give off another impression to people. And one of the easiest ways to control those nonverbal cues is through practicing meditation, pretty much. Like, seriously. Meditation will the way I see meditation is that meditation does not add to your character. It removes the negative. It's like pruning a plant, right? Or it's like taking away the dirt in something. You're not adding to it. You're just removing what makes it negative. It's like people who meet me after they've known me before. They told me that I pretty much kept the same personality, but I removed the bad, right? Because I used to talk loud. I used to interrupt a lot. I used to be kind of rude. And now I've become a different person. People tell me that. And most likely it was because of meditation. And they told me that you pretty much kept the good and removed the bad. Like, and that's what I think transforming yourself is, or being your most attractive self. It's removing, and because the bad comes from insecurity, right? It comes from overcompensation.
So in order to act out any type of behavior consistently, adopting the mindset that authentically produces it is key. And first and foremost, Gia has an abundance mindset. When you have an abundance mindset in dating, you don't get attached to any outcome early on. Because simply put,
early on, that's the key. It's healthy to get attached to people, but not fast.
Why would you? An abundance mindset says if it doesn't work out with this guy, there's always the next guy. Now that doesn't mean you can't or shouldn't make an effort with the men you take an interest in. It just means that when you do, it's not going to come from the perspective of lack. Because when we are in lack, the effort we make comes from fear. Fear of losing someone or scaring them.
An example is like my personality, right? I'm a talker, and I remember when I was younger, I used to think that if I talk a lot, girls would like me. The truth is that I became somebody who talks a lot. I became somebody who was rude. I became someone who was obnoxious. And the reason why it was because I was insecure, right? I didn't know how to get people to like me. But then as I've grown older, I don't care no more. And now I'm a very quiet person. And when you meet me, you'll notice that I don't talk that much. Ironically enough, that people actually gravitate to me more. There's something about silence, a silent dignity that people find attractive and people respect. I didn't know that talking a lot, trying to make myself the center of attention through my words, through my love of my own voice, turn people off. And the reason why is because it came from the root emotion of insecurity. And now where I am in my life, which is where you should be, hopefully, right? You learn not to give a fuck about impressing people. And that actually makes you magnetic because everyone's trying to impress people. It's as simple as that. It's like somebody it's like in school, right? I know people who have a lot of friends in school, but then I respect them more when I see their friends hanging out and they're alone. And they can hang out with their friends, but they choose to be alone. There's something I notice myself unconsciously respecting that. And the reason why is because it says that this person is not needy, this person is independent. Right? And that comes from a mindset. All right, guys, we're going to go on a quick commercial break. All right, guys, we're going to have a brief intermission so that I can tell you guys about our new bundle that we're doing where you guys can purchase all of my courses and get it at a discount. So this bundle is pretty much the bundle where you could just buy all of my courses. You could buy Nice Guy, which is a training course on how to come across more assertive, how to come across more confident, how to not give off nice guy vibes. You guys can get access to Dark Game, which is my folk dating course on how to meet women in different scenarios, how to attract women, how to make sure you don't come across as creepy, and essentially how to act like a man and not act like a doofus, to be quite honest with you. And you get all of these bonuses, which is the bonuses of Dark Game, the bonuses of Practical Mastery, which is about how to master a skill, Social Mastery, which is how to master your social life, and the Laws of Human Nature, which is a book club video that I had dissecting Robert Greene's book. All of this is naturally at around naturally is at $346, but you guys can purchase this bundle and get it at what's the price again? Get it at 238 pretty much. So you guys can purchase it right now. It's a money back 30-day money back guarantee. It's a good way to, rather than just buying them individually and paying extra, you guys can just purchase everything at a discount price. Now, the only thing I don't like is the fact that I'm giving you a lot of information at the same time. That makes me kind of scared because a lot of times people don't do the things that I teach when you get too much information. But I've gotten too many requests to do this, so I'm just satisfying you guys. Purchase it right now by clicking on the description down below where it says purchase the bundle. All right, let's continue with the video.
Fear that if it doesn't work out with this person, why would it work out with the next one? Or something like a fear that we won't meet anyone like that again. Being afraid to lose someone you barely even know is not attractive to that person, and the effort you make for them quickly feels inauthentic. People will always be able to pick up on your energy, and making an effort from lack is exactly what gives off those desperate vibes that we are all repulsed by. These vibes instinctually makes us want to run the other direction, man or woman. Just think of Soyeon's behavior once she started liking Jin Taek back. She tries to mask it with humor, but the energy is clear. She has developed a lack mentality around him, and he can sense that and starts losing his attraction for her.
And let me tell you something, people. I hope I'm not the only one, but there is a certain dehumanization of people that happens in our mind when we encounter someone who needs our attention or who needs our validation desperately. There is something about it. It's almost like we see them as though like dogs. Like it's almost like, damn, like we sort of like, you know how when we see people and we forget they're humans, like it's almost like there's a lack of humanity. I don't know how to put it, right? And that's why you don't respect them. That's why they treat you like shit, because they see you as shit. You're just like a desperate like conglomeration of emotions and reactions. But as soon as you start showing coldness, as soon as you start like showing any signs of disapproval, people will all of a sudden sense your humanity. And the reason why is because now they're sensing disapproval. That usually happens from authority figures, right? I could be wrong, but psychologically, I noticed unconsciously that that's what happens, you know? Man, I mean, man, he's a fucking psycho. You heard him. Cancel him. Shut up, Melissa.
With Gia, it's pretty clear that she's not too concerned with who likes her or not. She doesn't attach herself to any
All right, let's see. This is the
outcome because of her abundance mindset. She probably thinks that if there's not a guy for her on the there'll be one outside of it. Except her abundance mindset comes across so sincere that I think she probably doesn't even have an inner dialogue.
Yeah, it's not an inner dialogue. It's more of an emotional reaction. It's almost like, for example, like I went to a poetry thing the other day, and I wasn't there to talk to girls, and I was just pretty quiet. And my friend noticed. Like my friend noticed. That was like 2 weeks ago. My friend was like, "Dude, like, do you know how many girls were fucking looking at you?" And I didn't notice. I didn't care. I didn't notice. But it's a philosophy of the rich get richer. It's like when you don't care, it'll leak out in your nonverbals, and it'll have an energy to it. It'll have an energy. It's like when you older people who hang out with younger people, a lot of them are just comfortable with their age, and younger people can sense that. Sometimes you have to be comfortable with life itself and not ask for more than what you already have. And all of a sudden, people will want to give you more.
She just knows. The Gia-like mindset is the one of I don't chase, I attract. You've probably heard this saying before, but if you want to understand it deeper, this is what truly having this mindset looks like when acted out. Gia lets the men decide if they like her. When they first arrived on the island, she was friendly and then promptly leaned back and let whoever wanted to pursue her do so. The men who first take a liking to her...
Yeah, you got to have the mentality of, am I going to like him? Rather than, am I going to like, is she going to like me? You got to ask, am I going to like her? You know? Like when I'm talking to women, I don't need it. I don't need her. You know, like, so it's kind of like women nowadays, I sort of expect more in terms of like, back then, all you got to do is smile at me and I liked you. Nowadays, it's harder for me to like people, women. Not that he's fucking coming out, he might be gay. No, but in terms of like now, just a nice ass on some nice heavies doesn't impress me.
Are Yunsek, Hyunjong, and Sihun, and she then opened herself up to getting to know the men who chose to pursue her. She didn't quite decide up front who she liked more and then started chasing that person. In comparison, some of the other women...
So it's almost like they take longer to decide if they're going to like them. And I think that's so important. Taking longer to decide whether or not you like someone will show your value as a person. Will show that you have options.
Will pick a favorite right away and then get set on that guy, closing themselves off to other connections from the get-go, and then get disappointed if that guy doesn't like them back. This isn't good for you because you might close yourself off to a better match if you are steadfast on your first instinct. Gia doesn't do this. She makes first contact with everyone and then she leans back. This is what not chasing but attracting means. If someone isn't attracted to you, you let it go and move on instead of taking on a chasing mindset.
Yeah, that honestly, that's so important. If somebody doesn't like me, what you have to do is not get mad at it. What you have to do is move on. One of the most important things that I've noticed in my life as I've matured is when I'm on Instagram and I see some really beautiful girls that I really find attractive, I don't think about them after I'm done swiping. I don't think about them anymore. Like, I'll look at it and forget about it, right? Where before I would just think and almost like solidify an idea with this girl, and then all of a sudden I realize I start liking them. The whole point is that you just don't entertain what you cannot have. Like, and one of the laws of power is disdain what you cannot have.
Attracting means. If someone isn't attracted to you, you let it go and move on instead of taking on a chasing mindset. And the next mindset is knowing that it's not your job to over-explain yourself to cuddle someone's feelings. As the show progresses, we see Gia playing her cards close to her body. When she's dating the men, she doesn't reveal very much with words or over-explains anything. She will offer them bits and pieces of what she's thinking and feeling here and there, but she still keeps a lot to herself as well. This is really smart, especially early on in a romantic context, where you want to get a feel for someone and take them in with all your senses. And talking is only one part of that equation. On top of
Yeah, when you meet someone and you in your mind already approve of them, you're gonna actually stop observing because you think you already know it all. Like you stop paying attention to the little things. But when you talk to someone and you keep an open mind wherein you don't say, okay, I already know him, where you don't solidify a point of view about them, and you let it and you let the coming to a conclusion take a little bit longer, people will sense that they still haven't won you over, and it'll cause them to chase harder.
Words are also an easy tool for manipulation. So letting people's personalities reveal over time is a much better strategy because regardless of what someone says, they will eventually act out their true intentions and who they really are. Feelings change, especially in the beginning of getting to know someone, and constantly keeping people up to date with what's going through your head isn't something you have to do.
You gotta let them guess what's going on in your head.
In modern society, we have become so used to instant gratification, but healthy attraction and a solid foundation builds over time. And whether you are able to sit still in a bit of mystery and unknowingness says a lot about you and your level of self-assurance and maturity. Because of her tendency to only reveal little at a time, Gia has been accused of leading the men on and breadcrumbing. But what I see is a woman who knows her worth and takes her time to take someone in. And this part of her mindset leads me to the next one, which is understanding how important it is to put yourself first.
Yeah, that honestly, that's really important. Like, and when I mean first, I don't mean being selfish. I mean, if you don't like me back, I gotta think of myself first and not wait for your ass. If you're not sure about me yet, I'm not gonna wait for you. If you're inconsistent about hanging out with me, I'm not gonna let your insecurities about not seeing me infect my personality as well. That type of stuff turns you into a needy person over time. You can't be doing that.
Gia is known for being ruthless with men, but I think this seeming ruthlessness comes from just not putting anyone on a pedestal, and then also being very discerning of who she lets into her space and how deep. A lot of people have a tendency to put up with way less than they deserve. They outsource being treated well to someone else, and then complain when that person falls flat.
Yeah, because you can't treat yourself well. You can't validate yourself with just your presence. That you need somebody to do for you vicariously. You need someone to treat you well, since you can't treat yourself well. You need someone to tell you your worth, since you don't feel worthy. You need to hear somebody tell you how awesome you are, since you don't feel awesome. You need somebody to look at you with love, since you can't look at yourself with love. You're trying to find a replacement for yourself, and that's not going to happen. They're going to treat you. In fact, they're going to treat you how you treat yourself. It's as simple as that. You can't run away from yourself. The self cannot be escaped. That's why I tell people, pre-order my course, Emotional Mastery, people. That course is specifically on self-love. Because mastering your emotion is showing love to your inner child at the end of the day.
Not realizing that the responsibility of treating us well, first and foremost, on ourselves. If you are an adult dating someone and that person doesn't meet your standards, the onus is on you to walk away. The onus is not on that person to tell you to do that. How can we expect for a person to put our needs above theirs if we can't even do so ourselves? Don't get me wrong, you absolutely are supposed to communicate your needs and standards, but aside from that, there really is not much you can nor should do other than to accept accept the situation for what it is or walk away. In the situation with Gia and the men on the show, if they feel like Gia doesn't meet their standards, give them enough or whatever else, it's on them to walk away. Which, by the way, is exactly what Junsek did when he realized that Gia wasn't interested in him. Sihun made a different choice, but the choice was theirs to make. Putting yourself first in the context of dating is crucial and attractive. It gives off the vibe that you value yourself highly and that you're not going to look to someone else to meet all your needs.
Exactly. And the thing is that a lot of people are trying to undervalue you to get you at a cheap price. And you shouldn't lower that value. And that value is pretty much based on how you let them treat you. All right? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is actually pretty good. If you guys want me to review more of these types of videos, let me know. Attend our, and actually, you know what, man? I may do a seminar in Amsterdam, but my God, I just cannot be in Europe for that long. That's the thing. I mean, if you're in Europe and you want me to have a seminar in your country, just join the London group and let me know, and I'm gonna sense it. But like, come to London, goddamn! Like, don't make me go to fucking Slovenia. Like, I'm not, because if I do a seminar in other countries, I have to do it during that time I'm in London, and I may have to be there for 2 or 3 weeks because people are not gonna come to a seminar on a Tuesday morning. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's gonna be a little difficult, man. I may have to just do 1 country or 2 countries and leave it at that, because you know it's not that easy. So, anyways, if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, we're having 20% off all of our coaching calls using the coupon code 20. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, take care.